Greetings and good day to all dear students. I am here with you for the first session of Corona Render Engine training. Corona Render Engine. It's a powerful render engine that, compared to V-Ray, the positive point is that it's much simpler to work with, meaning it gets you to a satisfactory result much faster, and a result that is close to the result of V-Ray render engine, with less time and quality close to V-Ray. However, if you are professional in the field of rendering with V-Ray and Corona Render Engine, as soon as you see the scenes and renders, you will realize with which render engine the scene was rendered. And, of course, in a commercial and work environment, it doesn't matter which render engine you use to do your work, and the result is important. And usually working with Corona Render Engine is much more cost-effective because it gets you to your desired result faster. Okay. When you install Corona Render Engine, in the section here, also in the rendering section, you can use the render setup, and in your render setup section, check the renderer which render engine is yours. And what render engine your render engine is set to, and set it to Corona Render Engine. Corona Render and other render engines that exist, we won't deal with them. Corona Render Engine, and when you set it, the shape of your render setup changes. And it will take on the default settings of Corona Render Engine. And you can also set the target section to interactive or to the same production B. Corona Render Engine includes various sections, such as Common Sense, Camera, Preferences, System, or Render Element. And we will gradually explain the important parts to you, and you will become familiar with almost all of these areas. Very good. Just the point that it should be mentioned that in different versions of 3ds Max, these names might be different. For example, instead of render, it might be assign to render, or whatever they have placed there. It's clearly visible that when you open this drop-down, if you have V-Ray installed, it will be shown to you. If your version is a version of 3D Max above, I think it was from 2020 onwards that Arnold came, the render engine of Arnold was added for you. Before that, in the lower versions, the render engine was Mental Ray, which they changed and put Arnold in its place. The default render engine of 3D Max in newer versions was changed. Here, we make sure that our Corona Render Engine is installed. Also, if you press the M key, the Material Editor will open, which usually looks like this. And now there are 6 here. You can increase them. For example, 5 by 3. With a right-click on it, you can change their count or 3 by 2, or whatever it is. And, well, you can change those as well. Set them to V-Ray or set them to the Corona Render Engine, which now we will explain further. For those who were with us in the 3ds Max and 3ds Max modeling course, I explained how you can define a project in the 3ds Max environment. However, we will define it again here and explain it again about it, that in the File section we have a Project section. And from here, we can start building a project by default. Or if we have a project, the projects, and we have a specific folder for it, we can place it there and then our project build it. And the point is that when you define a project for 3ds Max, it creates various folders for you. It defines different folders, each of which it might be useful in your work. Like things you import, things you want to export, your downloads, your backups. And what's more interesting, that when you want to go into your project space, as soon as you click import, the first address it gives you is the import within that same project you defined. Similarly, if you click export, and similarly if you save, it automatically goes to the appropriate environment it has folderized for you. And in that section, it does your work. The next thing you should do is in the Customize and Preferences section. You can increase the number of your undos, for example, set it to 50. And go to the Files section and check the box for Increment on Save. If you check this Increment on Save box, it will take saves for you and keep those saves. You can also adjust the number. Every save you make, it creates a new file and keeps the previous file for you. This ensures that if your file encounters a bug, you will have the previous file and can use it. The next section is Auto Backup, where you can specify how many backups you want. First, enable it so that backups are performed for you. How many backups you want, at what interval minutes, and you can also set the names of your backups. And it's also understandable that your backups are saved in the same folder you defined in your project, in the Backup section. The next section is Gamma and LUT. We usually set Gamma to 2.2. This Gamma ensures that the lighting and materials you apply to your object are seen with appropriate quality in the render. These two checkboxes, Effect Color Selector and Effect Material Editor, should definitely be checked. That's it for this section. So we've explained project definition for you here. And now I'll introduce a script for you so that the materials you give to your volume are seen with appropriate quality in the render. So we have explained how to define a project for you here. And now we will introduce a script for you. You can see the material library and the scene check. And it also gives you a toolbar related to Corona, which contains various tools related to Corona. One of them is Corona Converter. When you click on Corona Converter, this window will open for you. If you don't have this or have lost this toolbar, go to the Scripting section and click on Run Script. And the script for Corona Converter, you need to download it, and you can come here. With the same script format, when you select it and click Open, the exact same Corona Converter window will open for you in this way. What features does this Corona Converter offer us? Well, in the Conversation section, if you have a scene that is completely V-Ray or Mental Ray or has other renderers in it, as soon as you have clicked this All, Button, Material, Map, and light and click Start Conversation. It will convert the entire scene for you into a Corona scene, meaning it will convert exactly the same materials and lights, even if they are V-Ray, into Corona lights and materials, and completely convert the scene for you. Well, at the beginning of this process, I opened the material editor for you, and you saw that the material used was a standard material. If I go to the Tools section and click Reset Material Editor to Corona Materials, and then press the M key again or open my material editor, you will see that my materials have been converted to Corona, and I have Corona materials, and I can use them very easily. Very well. I'll go over the script path again here, scripting. You can click Run Script and select your script. Let me see if I have this script from before or not. I'll open this and you'll see that it opens the exact same Corona converter for me. Okay, I'll close this. Very well, this is from this section. In the next part, we'll give basic explanations about materials and we'll continue the work together.